I know what you're thinking about the title. There's no way, right? Well, after rewatching the episode countless times, looking deep into every theory and article, and even diving into medical reports, I have concrete proof that Thanos survived the Squid Games and will be back in Season 3. This isn't a joke, it's a matter of fact. Don't believe me? Then it's time to prove you wrong. The origins of Thanos. So before we even get into the stabbing itself, I think it's worth taking at least a brief look at the actor of this fascinating character and how he got the role. The director of the show wanted an actor who had stepped away from the entertainment industry due to drug-related issues in order to have real-world experience with Thanos' backstory. T.O.P., who left his group Big Bang to protect them from getting hate for his drug use, which apparently is very shameful in Korea, fit this character perfectly, since he completely retired from the K-pop industry after this happened to him. The director was very impressed by T.O.P.'s serious approach to bringing the character to life, and this led to him giving a level of creativity to the actor, which few other cast members were given. I mean, he was even allowed to make up his lines and movements on the spot, whereas other characters, and even the VIPs, who we barely see, had to stick to the script no matter how much they disliked it. As Thanos' drug use started to alter his behavior, T.O.P. went out of his way to make his character seem crazier and crazier, which impressed the director a lot. Ding. This awesome casting is why us fans love the guy so much. I mean, smiling like a maniac during a game as messed up as Mingle, he really played the insane part well. This is a big reason many fans believe he can't die. The director and fans both love the guy too much. No, I know, that isn't really evidence. But don't worry, we're about to get to that. It's just important that we understand the impact this character has made, managing to stand out from the hundreds of other players we've seen in the first 2 seasons of Squid Game. But nobody could survive getting stabbed in the neck, no matter how cool they are, right? Better odds than you think. The things I'm about to tell you might sound absolutely crazy, but I can assure you that they really are true. Although it's pretty rare, people can survive this kind of injury. And believe it or not, Thanos actually got off really easily in this case. Medical literature is filled with records of people surviving deep, penetrating wounds to the neck and throat, sometimes due to weapons far deadlier than a simple eating utensil. In fact, there have been documented cases where victims were attacked with thick, sharp chef knives that sliced deep into their vital structures. Yet with quick access to medical facilities, they managed to cling to life and eventually make full recoveries. Typically, after such a wound, the survival window lasts between 3 and 10 minutes, but can extend up to 15 minutes before critical damage sets in, meaning that if help arrives quickly, there is a genuine chance of healing, which has happened many times in real life. There's even an inspiring story of someone who, after enduring a week-long coma following a series of brutal throat wounds from a huge kitchen knife, eventually regained their ability to speak. This proves that in the twisted world of Squid Game, where every second is a battle against death, surviving a seemingly fatal wound is not out of the realm of possibilities. It's more than believable that he could live from these wounds, and even continue being the crazy and alluring character we all know and love, since he was just stabbed with a fork and not an actual weapon. So it definitely isn't impossible for him to have survived. But if he did, he'd need help ASAP in order to stay that way and avoid death. So who would go through the effort to help him since he was so rude and violent throughout the season? The VIPs might step in. One possibility is that the VIPs, always wanting to keep the show entertaining and unpredictable, saw Thanos as too interesting of a character to lose, even after the fork impaled his throat, which in itself was a wacky way to go out. In this theory, fans say the organizers could have whisked him away to a secretive, high-tech medical facility hidden deep within the Squid Game infrastructure. Their cutting-edge experimental treatments and procedures might have been used to mend his neck, patching up the severe injury and allowing him to heal. Not only would this add another layer of power to the VIP's control over life and death, but it would also send a chilling message. Nothing in this game is ever truly over until the crowd says so. Based on what we know about the VIPs, they're deeply influential and run games worldwide, with wealth so insane that they can easily pay off the many guards we see to perform cruel and inhumane acts within the games. It's not hard to imagine them having some kind of secret medical facility for people they want to be entertained by, especially since the guards, completely alone without assistance, set up an elaborate organ harvesting ring to make more money. So the VIPs were obviously capable of a lot more than that. Some viewers in the past have speculated that Im Jung-dae with player number 100 is actually a VIP in disguise, so if this is true, maybe he played a hand in ensuring that Thanos was given medical aid and protection off-screen. Even though this would be a really interesting idea, it might make the Big Daddy frontman mad to see that T-Money was allowed to cheat death, since he's all all about fairness and equality. For this reason, some viewers have another idea: the hidden pills. Another theory says that what looked like a fatal, throat-stabbing injury was actually counteracted by the crazy drugs Thanos had in his system. Since he had such a crazy amount of drugs of different types coursing through his body, they speculate it might somehow protect him from losing too much blood, allowing him more time to receive medical help. If this is actually the case, what appeared to be a death sentence at first could instead become a long play, with Thanos being held off to the sides until the perfect moment to re-emerge. The organizers might realize he survived and allow him back in the games as some kind of special player in Season 3, leading one of the games since he was one of the main players who wished to allow the games to continue. A fact which no doubt would please the staff and VIPs. Although this could definitely be possible, it isn't really that likely, since he'd still need a lot of medical care behind the scenes in order to be saved. Because of this, some fans who really can't cope without him decided that maybe the whole thing was a hoax, faking his own death. Probably the most wild possibility is that Thanos' death was just a masterful troll. The organizers could have deliberately staged the fork wound as a deadly, unavoidable injury to increase the shock value of the games when, in reality, he might have been kept in a secure location to fake his death until the right time to make a return to troll the players. This strategy wouldn't just be about reviving a fan-favorite character, since we all love the guy, but it would also serve as an insane psychological trick by the staff, keeping both players and viewers guessing about who might still be lurking in the shadows of the game. This would make the show a lot more complicated, which would be a really good thing for the international games to be more interesting, and not the same old stuff we've seen before. This is one of the most popular theories, but also highly controversial. Some viewers can't understand how or why Thanos would be the one player to fake his death, like the infamous Mr. Poopy Pants, player 001. What's so special about him? Well, the two characters might be different in terms of their stories, but when it comes to their impact on fans, they're very similar. Both play bigger roles than we would have thought, and they equally have a strange way of digging into people's hearts, being hard to hate and easy to find likable despite some odd behavior. If there was anybody worth bringing back for some grade A trolling, it'd be Thanos for sure. You just know that if this happens, people online would go crazy, and that's exactly what the director and Netflix as a whole want. Money talks, as they always say. Even though this would be a really bizarre and fun twist, it's nowhere near as crazy as the final theory we have. A secret soldier rebellion. A really interesting concept from some posts online speculates that a secretive network of hateful guards could have orchestrated Thanos' rescue. Even with a fork through his throat, these soldiers, fed up with the system and sickening games, might have decided to extract him from the central arena without anybody noticing. With secret medical supplies stashed away in their hideout, they could have provided emergency care that kept him alive long enough to heal in secret without anyone else finding out. This top secret activity would really show us how the facility works and present challenges for the guards in keeping their secret safe. They could be relying on Thanos to be the catalyst or centerpiece for a second revolt, one which would be much more impactful and require the frontman to kill them by the dozens to keep himself and the VIPs safe. Now, obviously, there are some gaping holes in this theory. The guards must be very highly monitored since the front daddy is very strategic and likes to have eyes everywhere, avoiding unpredictable situations. Not only that, but any guards who wanted to rebel likely would have taken that chance when Gi-hun was performing his own attack on the Squid Game compound. It is possible that they were biding their time, waiting for a better chance to let Thanos snap the VIPs out of existence, but there's too much mystery to know for sure. So that's all of the theories about the drug addict surviving the Squid Games. If you want to see more, make sure to give the video on screen a watch. I put a lot of love into them.